Hello, thanks for joining me on today's video when I will be talking about title blocks. When you're making a map, one of the key elements is a title block or a cartouche, which basically introduces the map, tells you all the details you need to know, what the map is of, what year it was created. It sometimes has the artist's name in it, and I start off every one of my title blocks just by sort of doing a quick rough of the information and a quick rectangular drawing of a 3D box around it, just to get my head in the game, as it were. From there I add the details. You can see in this one I decided I wanted an oval shaped insert where the information would be written, and on the outside I just went for a slightly fancier shape. I didn't go too fancy because I didn't want this video to be overly long, so it's just quite a simple shape around the outside. One of the things with title blocks is they often have this sort of 3D effect where you sink the shadow down behind them. I have a blog on my website which shows you how to do that, which I'll link below, or the basics of that, which I'll link below. Title blocks were often seen as ways for the cartographer to show their artistic flair. So some are very, very beautiful and intricate, and some are much simpler. If you have a look at my Pinterest board for map title blocks, which I'll link below as well, you can see a lot of different types on there. And I personally really like doing this part of a map. And you can really do any shape or anything you want. You can include different details. For example, sometimes if there's a particularly pertinent detail in a book that I'm doing a map for, then I'll use those details. For example, when I did the Martin Walker map for Chief Inspector of Police Bruno, I included Bruno's dog and his horse and various rackets and a rugby ball for the sports that Bruno does. And really there are no rules here. You can make them as complicated or as simple as you like, even if you just want to draw them in a box or in fact just leave a space. Whatever works for your map. As I say, if you want some inspiration, you'll find it on my Pinterest board. And what I always encourage if you're drawing your own map is to really think about what feel you want your map to have. Do you want it to feel a bit whimsical? Do you want it to, maybe the era lends itself to slightly more fancy or details, or maybe you want it a little bit more modern, and you can really do that in a lot of ways with the writing. You can make it feel modern with the writing, you can make it feel a bit older with the writing. What I like to do if I'm looking at a book with a certain era, for example, I recently did a book based on the Mongol Empire, is I looked at writing from that time period and I used that as a basis for my font. And here I'm just putting a few finishing details on. As you can see, it's really it can be really quite simple with these branches, I like to put those little sort of cutouts in as well. So you've got those little cutout circles, and that is pretty much stolen straight from a antique map. So yeah, I like to look at antique maps and draw out examples and see what I can use. So the next video will be on that and taking examples of what I like and redrawing them so they're in my image bank in my head. So I hope you liked this video. If you want a step-by-step breakdown, head to my blog, I'll link below. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye.